Good morning. I'm Henry Stern, the Parks Commissioner, and it's a pleasure to welcome you to this unique playground on a glorious June morning for a dedication celebration. General Sherman Playground is unique because it not only belongs to the neighborhood, it's been redesigned and equipped with a great many wonderful features. This playground is home designed and home built, thanks in large part to the time and money given by so many of you neighbors who made up Operation Playground, a group to which I want to pay special tribute. When you heard of our plans to clean up and restore the site, you joined in with your own ideas, and you engaged that Pied Piper of playgrounds, Robert Leathers, to help us design something all children would appreciate. Looking about you, I think you would agree that he did just that.
This is such a joyful occasion. Working on a project like this really unites people in a very special way. And to me, it will always symbolize that all of us had a most important part to play, from the very youngest child who washed the tires to the senior citizen who served the food. Each person made a significant contribution, and each contribution is very special and very valuable.
There was a point very early in the process when there were women and children out here carrying these huge 18-foot telephone poles that are part of the vertical support system of Operation Playground of the build. And it was very much for me, as I was photographing the build, like seeing visions of Egyptians building the pyramids. It was the kind of thing that you absolutely wouldn't believe could be done. For a lot of families who took part in Operation Playground, I think this will be remembered as their best Mother's Day celebration ever. And for me, there was personal satisfaction in seeing the crumbling resistance of a system challenged by a dream. I think, best of all, we've given our children the most wonderful legacy I can think of. We've made their dream come true.
I'm sure this happened to lots of you, but I was asked very distinctly and very clearly, skilled or unskilled? And I said unskilled, and the next thing I knew, I was operating a power sander. So anyone who would like a tour later of each of the corners that I sanded is free to stay afterwards, and I'll be happy to show you.
It was really like an old-fashioned barn raising, right here in the middle of Manhattan. I mean, there were all kinds of people from the community pitching in, not just the parents.
I really feel good being here and seeing this terrific equipment and knowing that the community was 100% involved, and so were the children.
But overall, it was a lot of fun. I'm going to miss this year and this playground. It was really amazing, and I'll never forget it.
Don't you ever ask them why. If they told you, you would cry. So just look at them and sigh, and know they love
The idea came because my little girl liked school, but she hated recess. And in first grade, you know, we take them to the yard, and then we can escort them to their room and get them through the separation anxiety. Well, one day, prep period was first thing. So instead of escorting them to the room, we were told that we could stay on the playground to play. And of course, my little girl was clinging to me, and I looked around at this vast, I call it desert of asphalt, and said, what does a kid do? I mean, there's nothing to play with on this asphalt. And no ropes, there were no balls. They just said, there you go, spend 45 minutes hanging out. I read in Parents Magazine an article about Robert Leathers, and I thought, gee, wouldn't it be great? And then we started talking in the Parent Association about that, and basically everybody said, oh, Patsy, you know, that's a wonderful idea, but you've got to get permission. And, you know, before you even come to us and ask for any money or anything else, get permission from whoever it is that you have to get permission. So that started a process of calling to find out who had authority over this and who we had to convince and talk to and sell in order to get approval to do this park.
The first time that PA discussed organizing a playground like this was last May. We voted on doing a new playground and to proceed with the process. Then Design Day came in October and committees were set up, and from that point in time, all the committees have been working regularly. For the last 2 months, the committees have been meeting weekly to pull together every single detail for this playground. It's been a tremendous amount of effort on the part of dozens and dozens of people, even starting long before the first hammer was raised.
Our goal was to raise $50,000. Basically, we were able to raise about exactly that much. We heard the legislators in the area, the state senators and assemblymen, had at their disposal a certain percentage of the budget every year. It's called the legislative initiative money funds. And so I simply started writing around to the entire West Side delegation. And they all liked the project very much, and were all extremely responsive. And we met with several of them, and finally it was Assemblyman Gerald Nadler who really became enthused about this project, thought it was an important project for the city, for the community, and really became our advocate and decided to commit part of his own funding, and just, you know, also tried to ask around with the other West Side delegates if they wouldn't give us some of theirs. And in the end, the way it worked out, I mean, it was a lot of wheeling and dealing, I suspect, but he gave us $15,000 from his budget, and Senator David Patterson gave us $5,000 from his. So that made 20 out of the 50. The children in the school raised about $11,000 with the Buy a Block campaign, which involved going around in the neighborhood and selling little pieces of paper saying that the contributor had purchased one piece of wood for the playground, and it was really astonishing. $11,000, that's not nothing. Other things included, we had a couple of bake sales. There were a lot of small contributions that came in, just checks from individuals. One foundation actually did come through. The Lucy Moses Foundation gave us $2,000. Earl Carroll, our custodian, of course, is a 1950s rock star, rock and roll doo-wop star, not rock. And he organized this concert, which raised, I think, $2,000 or $3,000. So the bits and pieces came in to make up the other 20 to 30 that we needed. If you think about the fact that this playground, according to the city, would cost a minimum of $500,000 to build, probably $650,000. You know, it's really small peanuts.
Right. I started in October, and I was supposed to be in charge of donated materials, but as it turned out, I was in charge of all the materials because of the way the committees went. And I had to learn from scratch what everything was. I mean, I didn't know a lag bolt from a machine bolt, and I didn't even know where to look for these things. So in October, they sent a potential materials list, everything that they thought we'd need, and then I started going around and looking for them. And then in February, we got the final materials list, and at which point I knew where to locate everything, and went from place to place, called up other playgrounds that had done it, went around the neighborhood, asked all the local hardware stores, asked the local plumbing supply place, went to tire places to get the tires, and really searched out everything.
Well, today we used power screwdrivers. This is an urban community where most people have never handled power tools before. So it's first-timers for lots of folks. On the other hand, there are lots of people who really are skilled, and thank God we have them, including the U.S. Army, who provided us with our tents over there. Yes. U.S. Army arrived on Tuesday, and two soldiers in camouflage fatigues put our tents up. Very tight schedule. The playground has to be built by Sunday night, and then Monday morning is cleanup time. We have child care provided. There are people, I mean, people have different skills, and people are more or less physical, as in any community. So we have people working on food, people behaving as gophers, people providing childcare, and there's childcare until 9 o'clock at night. All the parents and a lot of the restaurants in the neighborhood have been providing the food. People get here at 7 a.m. and breakfast, lunch, and dinner are served. So people are working from 7 a.m. until dark. Children from our own school have been out here washing tires and sanding 2x4s and 2x6s since Tuesday when this started.
I think the really important thing that's come out of this has been that we've been working together in such effective teams. There are so many teams of people working together, skilled carpenters with unskilled people, adults with children, people who have never worked together before, working together as a team to get the playground done. There are companies that have donated loads of food and supplies and equipment and labor to help us get the playground done. Over and over again, all over the playground area, you see loads and loads of teamwork, and it's a fabulous experience for all that.
We are very special in every way, but any group of people, I mean, if you can get a hardcore of 8 to 10, maybe a dozen people who can do the organization, you can draw on the strengths that exist throughout the community. That's all we did. Where one of us couldn't fill a gap, somebody else could. And by putting our heads together, we were able to solve most of the problems or reach out. It's like networking in the business world. You just keep reaching out in further and further layers until you find what you need.
We are not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. Lean on me, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on.
You can just get people to believe in an idea. You can do anything, absolutely anything.
You need to borrow. Lean on me. We are not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. Lean on me, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on.
It's amazing. I can't believe that after all the meetings, we've been doing this for months. I feel like I have been living, eating, breathing, sleeping playground, and it's really happening. And it's just fantastic to see all these people out here, which is really the main reason I wanted to do it, more than to have a playground. I thought it was a great opportunity to have a lot of people around, and it's worked.
To capture the magnitude of commitment of all these individuals working together to get it done.
We be jamming, hey. We be jamming.
That in 5-6 days' time, we've done this.
Plans the children are holding were done on design day. They were their fantasies and wishes for the playground. And now they're going to compare them to the actual playground and see how much of it got incorporated and which way their ideas were carried out.
How close do you think they are?
I think a lot of the ideas are in there. And a lot of the good suggestions, they may not look exactly like the kids' drawings, but you'll see a lot of resemblances.
I mean, I didn't know it was going to be like this. I mean, I thought it was going to be as simple. I didn't know it was going to take so long. I didn't know it was going to be so exciting. I didn't know it was going to be really like this. I didn't imagine it so, really
So complex? Is that what
Yeah.
you mean?
Well, what did you think the very first, when you came on Monday morning and you saw it almost finished, what did you think?
I thought it was terrific. I never saw a better playground.
Did you draw some plans or talk to Bob Leathers about what you...
Yeah.
What did you tell him?
Well, like we wanted twirling slides and a castle and a maze. I told them that I wanted a bridge. You know.
So how well were your dreams satisfied? Did you get what you wanted?
Yeah.
It was really fantastic because, you know, the old Woodpark didn't have a lot to do on it.
And the slides were all broken and everything. So we're going to really like this playground.
You think they will like this playground? You think the kids will take care of it?
Yeah.
Everybody should be happy because they put all their work into it.
What do you think's the best part of it?
I think the circular side is really fun.
I think a lot of your friends would agree with that. I asked a lot of them. They said the same thing.
It's real fun.
You like this thing too, don't you? The thing that you go back
Yeah, I like that thing. And
I don't know what that's called.
There's this sort of bouncy bridge that I like to ride
Oh,
on.
the bouncy bridge. I
That's
love the
another
bouncy
one.
bridge. I was on the bouncy bridge on about Friday night. I thought the bouncy bridge was great.
Twirly slide and the monkey bridge.
And the monkey?
The twisty slide.
The twisty slide.
The twisty slide the best too.
What do you like the best?
I like going on the ropes and things. Castle.
The castle. Mark.
The outside school.
Okay, Amber?
Treehouse.
It's wonderful. It's like they said, an urban barn raising. It's something that the whole community did, regardless of whether they're connected with the school or not. And I like those kind of things. I do those kind of things. It's great fun.
This child over here who really needed some boosting got such rewards out of this that for me this was what the playground was.
When I see the kids playing on it and I saw them, I'm overwhelmed with good feelings and good feelings about the community too and everyone that put in effort.
Now we have the #1 playground in the city. And I hope that other schools and community groups in the city will be inspired by us to do the same.
And teach your parents well. Their children's hell will slowly go by, and feed them on your dreams. The one they fix, the one you know by. Don't you ever ask them why. If they told you, you would cry. So just look at them and sigh, and know they love you.